Hey guys, Emmanuel here, and before I jump into this video, I just want to ask you guys to give me the HBO special, and that is the Help a Brother Out. And you can do that by hitting the subscribe button and leaving a like underneath this video. It really helps me out a lot. But let's jump into this video. Guys, the Lakers, as of shooting of this video, are 1-5. They just won against the Denver Nuggets. I don't know how they managed to do that. But prior to the season, there was much speculation as to how the Lakers would fare or how good they would be in their second year, especially with Russell Westbrook. And the Lakers decided they were going to run it back. They didn't make any improvements to the team, but they wanted to see what they were going to get. And I think it's safe to say that the experiment is over in such a short amount of time. I think we all know deep down that the Lakers are a dud. The Lakers are not who we thought they were going to be. And like I said, they just played against the Denver Nuggets and they managed to win that game. I don't know why that was. Russell Westbrook is coming off the bench now, but I think it was just a one-off, a fluke. I think the Denver Nuggets weren't on their A game because I know the Lakers. The Lakers are inconsistent. I can't expect the Lakers to win their next game because they won this game against the Denver Nuggets. That's just the Lakers that I'm used to. That's the Lakers that I know. I know this was a fluke. And so we need to talk about the real issue that the Lakers have. The dark truth that the media does not focus on at all. And that's the fact that it isn't Russell Westbrook. Yes, Russell Westbrook is as bad as a player as you can get. He wasn't always like that. I think a younger Russell Westbrook, ironically, was better than what he is now. But the Russell Westbrook that we have now with the Lakers, he's just not a good basketball player. He never learned how to play team basketball. He never learned to hone his skills. He's not a good shooter. He's not a great passer. He's not a great playmaker. There's really no attribute of the basketball game that Russell Westbrook does well. The only thing that Russell Westbrook does well is he is durable. He can play all the games that you need him to play. But considering how bad he is that really a good thing? And furthermore, Russell Westbrook is more concerned with individual stats like triple-doubles than he is with actually winning or being a contributor to a winning team, because that would require him to take a back seat, something that he has a hard time doing. I mean, it took so long for Russell Westbrook to be able to come off the bench, even though the Lakers wanted him to come off the bench last year. It's now just starting to happen. When everybody in the league, everybody that watches basketball knew either Russell Westbrook shouldn't have been on the Lakers or he should have been coming off the bench. But as bad as Russell Westbrook is, it isn't just him. It isn't solely Russell Westbrook's fault that the Lakers are so bad. The truth of the Lakers is that they just have an overall terrible roster. And I don't know what people expected. I talked about this in the summer, in the offseason. I said that the Lakers were way too quiet in the offseason. They didn't make a huge trade. They didn't pull a trigger on anything. They weren't willing to move off of the first round picks. And I was asking, why are the Lakers so quiet? I mean, for a team that was as bad as they were last year, they should have done so much in the offseason to improve. But the only thing they did was they went out and they got a new head coach and they got Patrick Beverley. Patrick Beverley was never going to help move the needle with anything. And so I had to look at the Lakers in a weird light. Like, Rob Pelinka, what are you guys doing? Are you actually committed to getting better? And the only explanation I could come up with was maybe the Lakers just wanted to run it back with a healthy Anthony Davis. And that's why they didn't really make any trades, because the Lakers have a terrible roster. I mean, for God's sakes, their best player is a 37-year-old LeBron James. I mean, were it any other player, this would either be their last year or next year would be their retirement year. But it's LeBron James, so I guess it's different. But were it anybody else, we would be laughing. And that just goes to show you the context of how bad the Lakers roster is. Their second best player is Anthony Davis, who is barely there. He's barely there. I know Anthony Davis has played all games this season, right? And that's been like 6 games. If I were a betting man, I'd be willing to bet that Anthony Davis is going to miss at least 20 games this season. I just know Anthony Davis, and I know the Lakers well enough to make that call, that Anthony Davis isn't going to give you 82 games in a season. And the reality is, the Lakers were supposed to make major improvements to their roster this summer for how bad they were, and they just didn't. And Rob Pelinka, I don't know what's going to happen to him. Maybe he's going to get fired, but I don't know what mess he created. What is this around LeBron James? The reality is LeBron James isn't supposed to be playing 38 minutes a game every game, because LeBron James is supposed to have help. No. LeBron James at this point in his career is supposed to be the help. Because at this point in their career, Anthony Davis is supposed to be the primary star for the Los Angeles Lakers, the primary scorer for the Los Angeles Lakers. I think when the Lakers made a trade for AD, they were expecting him at some point in the last 4 years to take the mantle away from LeBron James. And as LeBron aged, Anthony Davis would be able to carry the torch, and LeBron would be able to be a secondary, maybe even a tertiary player. But the reality is that hasn't happened. And here's the thing that nobody talks about in the media. The fact that Anthony Davis as a player peaked in New Orleans. And I've been saying this for a while now. I made a video and talked about this all the way back in the summer of 2021. Anthony Davis peaked all the way in New Orleans, and he will never be the player that we knew him to be. The Anthony Davis that we knew that was an MVP contender, that guy is long gone. Years of just getting injured has made Anthony Davis decline in such a manner that no one could have predicted coming. Anthony Davis has the body of a 42-year-old. At his age, he's in his 20s and he's aged like it's like he's 50. When I watch Lakers game, anytime somebody touches Anthony Davis, I'm like, oh boy, because I know what's gonna come. He's going to have some sort of back strain. He's going to have some sort of leg injury. It's like he's made out of glass or paper mache. And here's the thing. The Lakers really wanted to make a run at the title this year. What they should have done, what Rob Pelinka should have done, is he should have moved both off of Anthony Davis and Russell Westbrook. If LeBron was serious about going to the finals, LeBron should have made an ultimatum. Get rid of both of these two guys or trade me. Because let's think about it. What do those two guys have to offer to the Los Angeles Lakers? We already know what Russell Westbrook offers the Lakers. He offers turnovers. He offers bricks. He is a walking minus when it comes to the plus or minus scale. I can't remember the game in which Russell Westbrook had a plus rating. And like I said, the only reason the Lakers ran it back, because they didn't really make any improvements to the roster, was because they wanted to see if Anthony Davis would be a difference maker. And 6 games in, we know that's just not gonna happen. The Lakers just suck. And the thing that made that decision even dumber was because the Lakers knew who Anthony Davis was. Anthony Davis has never been a player who stays healthy. Anthony Davis in New Orleans was never a player who was a healthy player. Anthony Davis will always miss at least 20 or more games in a season. That's just who he is. That's just the player that he is. If you're gonna build a team around that and you end up 0-5, maybe you should get fired. So the smart thing to do was to get rid of both Russell Westbrook and Anthony Davis and see what the Lakers could have got for especially Anthony Davis. And they should have stopped being greedy with their first round picks, because who knows? Who knows what you could have fetched on the market for Anthony Davis? The truth is, just getting rid of Russell Westbrook alone isn't going to solve anything for the Lakers. It's more than him. It's like a cancer that you can't just cut it out. It's the whole body that needs to be thrown out. And now, the prospect of trading Anthony Davis for anything on the market completely fell through, because Anthony Davis last year had a perceived market value, right? You could at least get something for him. After helping the Lakers start the season 0-5, who in their right mind is going to trade for Anthony Davis? Nobody. No one is going to do that. And nobody is willing to pull the trigger on Russell Westbrook. In fact, Chris Mannix, a reporter, I think it was for ESPN, stated, and he talked about this. He said, if Russell Westbrook doesn't change something, this could very well be his last year in the NBA. Nobody's willing to trade for Russell Westbrook if he's not willing to change his game. He might have to go through the saga that Carmelo Anthony went through in order to realize he's a bench player. Anyways, guys, those are just my thoughts on the Lakers situation. If you like these kind of videos, then this is the channel for you. Make sure to hit the subscribe button. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And aside from that, see you next time, kids.